Hello guys, welcome. Today I have this great video from Charlie Kirk as he takes on this liberal woke student. Let's jump straight and watch.
I noticed you're wearing an American Lives Matter
Yes.
shirt. What is your message to this audience right now by wearing that t-shirt? What is your intended message?
Well, I think that we should put Americans above foreigners.
You know that the whole point of, the movement, that came with Lives Matter was originally for Black Lives
Yes,
Matter?
I'm intentionally appropriating it. Yeah.
And are you trying to eliminate the movement Black Lives Matter? Are you trying to not bring attention to it?
I mean, well, BLM is not exactly a movement that I would be associated with, but I believe all lives matter. American lives matter. If you're a Black American, Hispanic American, I don't care. All Americans' lives matter.
Would you take the time to recognize a group of people who have been marginalized historically and who are now asking for the same rights, the same privileges as white people in the society by letting
What rights
them...
do white people have that blacks don't?
So the issue is, it's not necessarily written in the law.
Oh,
but
so it's like
is,
hidden.
That's the whole point. That's how marginalizing works.
Oh, so it's kind of like, it's like a ghost. You see it one day and you don't. And
because you as a white privileged person with money have never
so
seen it doesn't mean it doesn't
what privilege
exist.
do I as a white person have that a black person doesn't? What can a white person do in America that a black person cannot do? Be specific. Name one thing.
So there are so many issues in our society.
Name one thing. No, I got to drill you in. Name one thing a white person can do.
Name one thing. Name one thing, please.
Name one thing a white person can do that a black person cannot do.
So the issue is racism, okay? You can technically do it, but your life may be put at risk if you find yourself in certain areas where you might not be accepted by your race, and then your life might be in danger.
Okay, what is racism?
There's
Can you
job
define to me what
opportunities.
racism is?
Racism, well, I don't have the exact description as it is seen in AP style or Wikipedia.
Can you just talk in the mic,
But-
please? I'm sorry, yeah.
Sorry. Racism is the lack of opportunities because of a race, the kind of putting a person to a side.
So can you name a single example
discriminating
in the
them.
last 20 years where blacks were discriminated en masse, where they've been put aside? Can you give me a specific example?
You can simply talk about police brutality and
Okay, so wait.
mass incarceration.
What percentage of murders do black Americans commit in America?
So there you have a point of there is over-policing in black communities,
Wait, no,
specifically
murders.
lower income communities.
Wait, blacks commit murders because of police? I'm not talking about murders of police.
You're twisting my words.
So why do
and you
blacks
know that.
commit so many murders?
They don't.
So they're 13% of the population, and they do 55% of the murders in America.
So
why?
you're not even looking at the background of it. There is over-policing in lower income communities. And
There's under-policing in lower income communities. Number two, you're trying to say that over-policing, even if that existed, which it doesn't, leads to the fact that 13% of the U.S. population accounts for 55% of the murders?
There is a target on people of color's backs, okay? So when a white person sees a person of color...
Prove it.
There is studies, there is research
No,
about
give me
this.
one
There is-
example. Give me one piece of evidence that there's a target on black people's back. In fact, I will submit to you there's the opposite. Black students can get into this college with lower test scores than white students. It's called affirmative action.
So now white people are the people who are struggling?
No, but
are they
I'm-
the marginalized ones?
I will go back to this, though. Can you name a specific example of what a black person cannot do that a white person can do? And be, again, specific. Anything.
I'm talking about so racism as a whole is not written in the law because that's not allowed anymore. But it still exists.
Then give me an example.
I just told you.
You said police brutality is your example. Why do you think blacks encounter police so much? They commit more crimes.
There is
And not just a little bit more.
policing.
No, there's under policing. And how could you say such a thing? We have defunded the police in Philadelphia, New York, Chicago, largely defunded it. We saw crime rates go up.
I also want you to take in mind that when a whole group their opportunities to succeed economically let's say they don't get that higher paying job because they chose a white person instead of a black person, that makes
Show me an example of where that happened recently.
Wait, that makes an entire community more prone to being lower income, and then that is lower income communities are directly related to like more crime activity.
But let me ask you a question. What percentage of young blacks have both a mom and a dad raising them?
I cannot think of a percentage right now to give you.
25%. So only 1 out of 4 blacks in America have a mom and a dad around. Do you think that is a bigger issue to address than racism? Do you think more dads is a better solution, or tackling racism, which you say you can't even see in our laws?
How could dads be connected directly?
Dads are very connected.
And what about, okay.
When you have a dad around, you're less likely to be violent as a male, less likely to go to prison.
So explain to me why all the fathers are leaving.
Exactly. Why are they leaving?
Question for you.
Because black women married the government and divorced the men that they were once with.
Talk about white people right now.
I'm sorry, I'm a realist, not a racist. Secondly, see, you could come up to the mic and call me a racist to my face, or are you an intellectual coward and want to shout it from 30 feet away?
Yeah. You know, Charlie has so much patience, man. Yeah. He has patience, you know. Basically, what these folks keep saying is, how dare you consistently prove us wrong? That's basically it. How dare you consistently prove us wrong? Yeah. You know, we went to college and we are right, and so is our feelings. That's basically it, really. That's what she's saying here. How dare you, Charlie, prove me wrong? I went to college, so I'm right. And my feelings are right. Can you imagine? I mean, can you imagine? Oh, man. She's so unwilling to stop and consider the very basic questions that he is asking. You know? These are basic questions that Charlie is asking here. You see? She's so unwilling, you know, to consider the questions that he is asking. It's as if facts no longer matter to these people. What a society we now live in, ladies and gentlemen. Facts that don't matter no more. Can you imagine? You know? I mean, I just don't get it, you know, why these kids, you know, keep doing this to themselves, you know? They never win. I mean, honestly, they never win. I don't get it why they keep doing this, you know? They just end up on the internet at the end of the day looking stupid and embarrassed. Can you imagine? I mean, Mr. Charlie, thank you for standing up for America like you're doing. God richly bless you. May God bless you, sir. Thank you so much for all the work that you do. Yeah. You know? She's the typical person who has heard people say what they have said, you know, and chose to follow them, you know, without even knowing what she's talking about. You know, she maybe probably read somewhere, or probably maybe she watches too much of The View, CNN, you know, ABC, all those programs, you know. And then she doesn't realize that the things that she's actually saying now, they're not so true. Most of them, you know. It's as if she's saying, I only know the indoctrination lines and I cannot think independently, you know. Basically, that's what she sort of like keeps saying. I only know that which I have read from the script. I can think on my own. I can't. I mean, Charlie was asking her basic questions. He was trying to engage with her in a conversation, get her to think, analyze and evaluate what she has been told, or what she knew, probably a belief system. But no, she wasn't doing that. No. She wasn't. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, can we please bring back common sense? Can we please bring back common sense? Come on. Because there seems to be less and less and less of it nowadays. What happened to our societies? What happened to our societies? Somebody once said, when the older generations are gone, America is going to fall like the house of cards. It's sad. It's sad. These are the young guys who represent the future leaders of tomorrow. It's sad. Because when you come up to a debate, I mean, at least get the facts, to support your belief system and your arguments, Don't just base it off your feelings. No. Somebody once said, the world doesn't care about your feelings. No, it doesn't. I have no words, to be honest with you. I have no words. Absolutely no words. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Charlie, for these things that you do. Thank you. These movements, they are good, Help educating these youngsters, showing them that there is another way. There is a truth out there. If there is a truth, it also tells you that there is a lie. I mean, both the student and Charlie cannot all be correct. Only one has to be correct, and the other one, misinformed. So the requirement or the need for growth, is something that should never end. People should always yearn for knowledge and to learn, improve, what they know, on what they know. You see? Because an education doesn't always equate to intelligence. But the more you learn, the more you are exposed to information, the better. Because light comes through information, knowledge. Light comes through knowledge. Remember what the word of God says? Thy word is a light unto my path and a lamp unto my feet. Knowledge can be light and is light. Yeah, it is light. I hope that someday this lady will come to the truth and lead a productive life.